Let's talk about huge launch. I mean, this is
big. This is big.
Like, I didn't realize. So you tweeted out big day. I quote tweeted it because
to be fair, there was no link to those. The big day me tweeting out had nothing to do with the product launch. It was just a big day.
Yeah, we hired a COO, which is hype. We got a new.
That's a big day.
Sorry, I think he's a who. I think I only give him head of operations. But Sean, really excited to have Sean on the team.
I think that's actually a hoe.
What up, hoe? So that I thought was the big news of the day. But then you guys launched your product. So let me give some background. You set the stage for Brett. Nick's company, BDGE, they create fantasy football content, but trivia content. So they'll sit down on this couch. You've probably seen the backdrop before. They'll post TikToks and then long-form YouTube videos with different sports trivia, mainly NFL, football. Over the last, how long would you say this took from start to finish?
Fucking way too long. We had our first version of trivia being built in the over a year ago, like the grid trivia.
Yeah.
Everyone probably knows it from what are the ones that do it now?
Yeah, Immaculate.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a vlog on our YouTube channel from like a year and a half ago with it in production and like close to finishing.
Yeah.
Probably 6 months before any of those.
Scrapped it?
We didn't scrap it. Our developer, we ended up like parting ways with our developer at the time, so we needed to obviously just put that on the back burner.
Yeah.
But we had that close to ready to go about 6 months before any of those companies pushed out. And that's kind of what kills me, that it took so long for us to get out, because we left like so much juice kind of sitting there.
You think?
Yeah.
But would you build something that doesn't have the lasting power of like that's beyond a trend?
The grid was the game that was popular at the time. What we are building is
like you could build Sporkle 2.0.
Correct. And that's always been the plan. But the grid was popular at the time when we started building it.
You could have gotten a lot of value out of it.
What I'm saying is,
then it would be worthless now.
Sure, but we would have innovated to the next game that we wanted to play. Like, it was never about the grid itself. It was the fact that we were building the trivia games that early about what we were playing.
Why don't you share what you did?
So we launched on our website, bdge.co, our first like product of the trivia game, where we are able to input any trivias that we make. Like today's one that went live was, can you name every active wide receiver that was a first-round pick in the NFL draft? There's 36 of them, so the grid is made up. You're able to guess the player. If it's correct, you get a thumbs up and it shows the player, whatever it is, and you have a score at the end of it that you could share online and et cetera. And we launched it on Monday for the first time, and one of the biggest things that we needed to like think about pre-launch, obviously JL, who was our CTO, put a fuck ton of work into making this happen over the last couple of months.
So he's just typing letters and then it appears.
Yeah. Like coding is just some shit, brother.
Like he actually built it off words.
You don't want to see his code base. You don't want to see what goes on like under the hood there.
No, it freaks me out.
It's disgusting. Yeah.
I can't even conceptualize how words could make the things go.
It's the most beautiful thing ever. Like I wish I was good at it.
Like I'm sure that when he
that's why I say I wish I could do it, because I would have made 40 trivia games by now. You know, if that's why I always talk about like I wish I was good at coding, because like I would have fucking done this myself. Yeah. But I'm not, and I couldn't, so it didn't happen. Today, one of the things we really had to think about was the product integration into our content, because it's like, sure, we could make a product come out and then like tweet about it a couple times, but it's like if it's not hitting you in your face over and over and over and over again, people are going to forget about it or be like, I don't really care. So we had to think strategically about like the game going live the same day that we make the content, and also making the content obviously takes a couple days to edit. So it was like, how do we film it, whatever the case may be. So we had the first one go live on Monday, and we've had TikToks to back it up, and I'm kind of going into like a little bit of like business mode where I'm like replying to comments on TikTok of me like just speaking to people about it and asking for their feedback, etc., which again creates like more like humanization of our brand, plus it allows people to give feedback. So we're like 2 days into it, and I could kind of check the numbers right now.
Yeah. How many? So you need to sign up to play, right? You cannot play unless you sign up?
You cannot play unless you make an email account. You cannot make an account on the website by putting your email in.
That's interesting. Was there any discussion around that?
Yeah.
And why did you opt to gatekeep? Even though it's free, that is a step, a major step.
It's a major step for we have a major fucking advantage of where we are because our distribution is so large and our brand in terms of people knowing who we are that are in our audience, like knowing us.
Right, but I assume
most people are hesitant to give information to people, to brands, to companies, to websites because they're like, I don't know who the fuck this is. I don't know where this is going. I don't know what this is going to do. But since they trust us, they're like, okay, we'll give you the email. I don't care, like as long as I go get to play the trivia game. We thought it was a low enough barrier. We're not making them pay. We're not making them give all this other information. But it also helps us for a bunch of other reasons.
100%. But don't you think you had those people? Obviously, sending an email is more direct. But you had those people. These people that you're promoting to are watching your TikToks and YouTube already. So what's the plan? Don't you want to get outside of that audience?
I'm not sure I understand.
Like, don't you want new users who aren't aware of BDGE? And isn't the fact that you're not paywalling it, but essentially paywalling with an email, doesn't that prohibit that and decrease the shareability?
Possibly. It could. I think our user base is like strong enough now. And again, I don't think the barrier to entry is high enough to the point where it becomes a problem for most people. It's not like, and it's also not set up in like a spammy way where if Sporkle made you make an email address, I can already imagine what their like sign up form looks like. It's sign in through 17 different avenues. Plus here's a fucking 2 pop-up ads on the right side. It's not like that. It's a very simple, clean process. And once you're logged in, it doesn't like log you out. You're logged in for like whatever. The other thing with that is we can spin it into like a value prop. You're logged in. Now we can make a leaderboard because your shit is being saved.
No, I get that. I'm just surprised that you guys wouldn't go free to play. And then once you complete it, it's like, want to see where you rank, or do you plan on playing every day?
To be honest with you, I just thought the conversion rate was so easy for us that I'm like, we're going to be missing out on a big opportunity.
But I'm saying you're already capturing the people that you already have. How do you get new people outside of the audience? And that's by this virality.
Our main goal is not to get new people outside of the audience.
Really?
Our main goal is to be able – I'm not saying it's not a goal. I'm just saying capturing the email is more important than spreading this. And I think we could do both without a problem.
Yeah.
And I think the numbers already are backing that up. We've had 11,500 people play – or brand new users, like unique users sign up with emails through – the first 48 hours, actually, it's really like 24, 36 hours of the first launch of it, which is a huge number. And that's a huge number of emails to pull off.
It's a monster number.
And we're seeing like quote tweets of it being shared, and other TikTok creators are now starting to make content with it. Nice. And that will have its own explosive.
Yeah.
I genuinely, I've been monitoring every TikTok that we put out about it, every YouTube video that we put out about it, any tweets about it. Out of all the hundreds, probably thousands actually, of like just pieces of engagement we've got so far, one single TikTok comment of being like, why do we have to put our email address in? Like not a single, most people who don't want to do it would come back and comment about it.
No. I don't think, I'm not surprised that you've captured that many emails. I'm not surprised by anything. I think it's going extremely well. I just think it's a very interesting question of, what is the optimization, right? Like, it's just a decision. There might not even be a right decision, but I would imagine you'll probably test it at some point. All right, so once you've gobbled up all the emails, right?
Yeah.
Let's call it.
Now we can do whatever we want with those emails.
No, but I'm saying once the diminishing returns on the new signups have happened, right? So let's call it 3 months down the road, right? Where you're instead of gaining 6,000 a day, you're gaining 60 a day, right? You flip it and you test it, and it's like, well, if we're unlocked and more people are tweeting about it, more posting about it, like, does that lead into more unique hits, and then we transfer it down to an email, whatever?
That's definitely a strategy down the line. I guess my thing is like, I think the power of 10,000 direct communication audience members is more powerful than 50,000 5x like random people out there that actually don't speak to you or hear from you or whatever the case may be. Because now it's like, had we launched this 2 weeks ago and had this email list, we could have hit them with hey, the combine starts in an hour. Yeah. Hey, the combine starts right now. And we could have had 3,000, 5,000 concurrent viewers. Mm-hmm. And we look at it from a non-spamming point of view where it's like we're not trying to like interrupt their lives really. We're trying to like give them more of the value that they came to begin with. Yeah. So it's like a customer that might be on the email list, their lifetime value might be 10 times higher than just a guy who comes to play trivia on the website itself. Mm-hmm. So the way I'm thinking about it is like, okay, those are going to be the first people that probably buy merch when we drop the merch because we can directly contact them and give them like a special promo code. Those are the people that are going to watch our NFL draft live stream. Those are the people, like those people that we can get direct contact with. And we had something, so we had something similar where the other reason I knew this was going to work well is because when we were doing Ice Lunch and we launched the leaderboard product, which was a piece of software, we got 75,000 emails in the first 48 hours. Like an insane fucking number.
75K?
75K, yeah. And the amount that I had to, what email? Do you guys use like an email software service?
But yeah, I know.
We're using ConvertKit. And you pay per the number of emails that you have.
Yeah.
And that like 48-hour period, I think cost us like 10 grand.
Yeah.
To keep continuing like to up the number of emails we had on it. The problem was, like, nothing that we really had or offered at the time aligned with the fucking emails that we just collected.
Yeah.
Now, these people are people that they're in, like, the NFL world. They're in our larger ecosphere. Yeah. So it's like we have this raw volume of data knowing that, like, okay, this number of, like, TikTok viewers based on that previous series will convert into this. It's not – it told us that it wasn't a high barrier. It told us that, like, people will do this because we're not asking for anything else besides this simple piece of information. And I think that, like, conversion rate on, like, having to give the email is something that goes around a lot, or I don't want to say is a myth on social media. People talk about it a lot. But a lot of the people that talk about it don't have brands, or they don't have, like, the connection to an audience like creator-led brands do. So it doesn't feel like a high bar for me. Maybe we'll hit a point where it's like, all right, this was starting to become a problem or we see more and more comments about it. But for right now, we have had like no real negative feedback about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really good, like, insightful conversation.
I think about the Immaculate Grid game, and it was like everyone's Wordle, same thing. Like everyone's posting.
See, had they put an email on the front of it, their conversion rate would drop by like 75 to 80% because they don't have a face of what the fuck they're doing. People trust us because they know us.
Yes.
You disagree with that?
No. They trust. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. But it also would have been played way, way less.
Yeah.
Because it's not open. And
I'm saying our distribution is so fucking large now that I think I get what you're saying. It's
you're
like
saying within your audience is all I'm saying.
Yeah. And I'm saying like the I'm talking about going deeper rather than larger. And I think the larger stuff will eventually like start to be a compounding effect because of it. And I agree with you because like in the same way that I said their conversion rate would probably have gone down 70-80%.
Yeah.
That would have to be me saying that would mean that would have to be true for all the people that have never came across BDG before and only went to the site to play the game. So that would have to be the same conversion rate drop off there too.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't have the right answer for it, but like I've had enough experience. I feel like that my gut probably is guiding me the right way for this.